Okay guys, here's that video we talked about. This is going to be on the Miterset segments. I'm going to go through this, show you a little bit about it, then we'll go over to the table saw and I'll show you how good this thing works. I got to be honest, I'm really impressed with how easy this is and how accurate it is. So, just to show you I'm not using anything special, this is my just old rigid miter gauge that came with my table saw. Obviously it's not anything super special. It's just a standard little miter gauge. So I decided I'm going to try to make a shelf or a piece that has 10 segments. So to make this, the set comes with this gauge or this jig and these stainless steel pins, and you can use either side. I'm going to put the stainless steel pin in 0 on this side, and then it basically divides up the angles by the number of pieces that you want. So I want 10 sides to the piece I want to cut, so I'll put it on the 10. And now I simply lay it down, set my miter gauge into it. I'll have to loosen this up, bring it up to both of these pins so that it sits flush, and tighten it down. So see that? It's now sitting flush with both of those pins. I locked it down, and without having to measure, now this angle is going to give me a perfect 10 segments. When I cut them, they'll put them together. Here I am set up my table saw, and what I've done is I've set up a fence to give me the length that I want. I probably should have this back a little bit. I don't want to be in, but when I go into the blade, but it's set back far enough. And all I'm doing is, this is a piece of plywood. I'm just going to use it to show you how it works. Start anywhere. I'm just going to cut the first angle off of this piece. So I'll start, and I'm going to make 10 cuts. Each time one's cut, you flip the stock over and cut the opposite angle, and I'll set them in order. Miterset recommends that you keep all the pieces in order as you cut them. So we'll do that. I'll get all 10 of them cut, and we'll go from there. I'm just touching the fence to get my distance. And there's all 10 pieces. there's all 10 pieces cut. I'll take them in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, I'm going to go get some blue painter's tape set up. I'll show you how to put these together and we'll take a look at it. Alright guys, I'm back. All I did was stretch out a piece of blue painter's tape and I'm going to lay these edge to edge and then we'll close up the gap and see how they turn out. So I haven't adjusted these in any way. I guess I should put these on the edge of the tape. Just kind of line them up here. Of course, that's edge job's not the most perfect in the world here, but lay these out. This is a careful scientific study. Try to keep them as even as possible. I could have put them all together without using this tape first, but I really wanted to just show you guys how they come together. Alright, so get that put in there like that. Okay. Obviously I'll need to put a clamp on, but for not being lined up this tape very well, I think, let me redo this tape and, well, that's not bad. What do you guys think? Like I said, these, there's absolutely no gaps in these. My tape job stinks, but as you can see, I'm going to bring this closer to the camera so that you can see this. These are not gaps. I've got to clamp it all together. I just wanted you to see it before I clamp it, and I will go ahead and put a band around this, clamp them, and then you tell me what you think. I'll be right back. Alright, as you can see, I'm putting this band clamp on this. I think that's pretty good. Alright, let's see. What do you guys think? A little bit right there. Sorry guys, I'm not a professional with the camera, so I'm trying to show you best I can. That's freaking awesome. For, as you can see, I still don't have it super tight, but that's not bad for just grabbing and picking out 10 on that segment piece and cutting some plywood. So I think it also makes me think that, wow, my table saw is pretty lined up, pretty good. So what do you think? That's what the segments piece does. So next I will show you the Miterset standard and what it can do. Alright, let's talk about the Miterset standard. Now this is the standard set. And what it does is it allows you to set your miter gauge to any angle that you want. Whether you want to cut left or right, it's the same on both sides. It goes from 0 to 50 in 5-degree increments. And you can also do fractions with this detent bar, and we'll talk about that in a second. So to set this, first let me talk a little bit about miter gauges. I know a lot of people have really, really nice ones, and if you do these or do a lot of cuts or angles for a living, I can see wanting to invest in an Incra or one of the other precision miter fences or gauges, but those can run upwards to several $100s. Really, really expensive. But the one thing about like the miter gauge that came with my table saw that I don't like about it is really how flimsy they are. The compass, it's really hard to see exactly where it's set. Now on mine, I don't know if you can see this, it's got a pin here that you can adjust in order to try to set 0, and you can do the same with other angles. But for me, when I put this on 0 and it hits that pin, I don't know if you can really see that. Is that really 0? Or is that? Or is that? So that's the one thing that makes it hard to get any kind of accuracy with a regular miter jig. With this set, it works the same almost as the Miterset standard or a Miterset segments. You'll place a pin in the 0, and then you'll determine the angle that you want. And let's say we want a 30-degree angle. We simply set, I'll turn this so that the camera can see this. We'll set this miter gauge on there and then just move it up so that the fence butts up against both pins. You lock it down, and now I know I have a 30-degree angle. That to me, it takes all the guesswork out of it. I don't have to worry about parallax or trying to split a fraction. The other thing that this set has is a detent bar. Now what this does is it goes from a 1/2 degree up to 2.5 degrees. And the way you would use this, if I want to set a, let's say a 22.5 degree angle, I put one pin in 0, I put the other pin in the 20. I take with these detents, I place the flat side against the 0 and go all the way down to the 2.5 degree mark. Well, let me put this on here first. I should have done that. So I'll turn this so you can see it. Put the flat side on the 0, the 2.5 there, bring my miter gauge up, lock it into place, and now I'm at 22.5 degrees. Okay, that's basically what this detent bar does. So, final thoughts. Overall, I think I'm really impressed with these sets. These were on a Kickstarter a couple years ago, and they were able to get funded. They started production with these. I think each set somewhere around $70. So to get both, I think the set is like $140. Don't quote me. You can go to their website and check it out. For me personally, I think it was a really good investment. I think that for what I'm using it for, and not really so much for this, for just setting an angle, but for being able to cut segments, being able to cut, like if I want to do the shelves and things like that I talked about. I really think that this is valuable. It takes the guesswork out of, you know, splitting 360 degrees, figuring out your angle, and trying to get a precise measurement on your miter gauge. This just helps. So I recommend them. I think it's well worth it. Comes in a nice blow mold case with the pins, the detent, and these are built out of a solid billet of aluminum. And then they have, of course, mine's dirty from being around sawdust, a nice rubber pad on the back to keep them from slipping. It's a nice heavy chunk, and it'll do the job for me. So if it's something that you guys are interested in, go check them out at miterset.com. I'm not sponsored in any way. I'm not getting paid to do this, and I bought this with my own money. I just think that it's something that could benefit other woodworkers. So let me know what you guys think about this, and please understand there are a whole lot better presentations on YouTube and all that, and some of you guys are fantastic at presenting, and I know I suck. I trip on words. I stutter a lot or mess up with what I'm trying to say. So if you really want to see an in-depth review of these, go check them. There's several videos on YouTube. I just thought I would show you guys what I thought about them. Alright, I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of this video, and let me know what you think about it, guys. Have a good day.